This is a Fox 17 winter weather alert.
For the first time in 3 years, blizzard warnings are up tonight for extreme southwest Michigan as Fox 17 tracks more than a foot of snow in some spots. Even more snow will fall tomorrow as West Michigan begins to delve into record-breaking wind chills, and the Arctic numbers that we're talking about are deadly.
Tonight, Fox 17 is everywhere with crews spread across West Michigan. This is a live look from snowy South Haven in Van Buren County, just a few miles away from where that blizzard warning is now in effect in nearby Berrien and Cass counties. To the east down M43, we take you to Kalamazoo County where the snow continues to pile up. So far, the area has already picked up about a foot of snow, shutting down Western Michigan University tomorrow. About 20 miles down I-94, the city of Battle Creek is under a snow emergency, as well as the city of Albion in Calhoun County. Police want your vehicles off the streets so road crews can plow them as soon as possible.
The Fox 17 mobile weather tracker is out on West Michigan roads tonight, inspecting conditions right now across Metro Grand Rapids and Kent County, where many of the highways are a real mess, reduced down to as little as one lane of traffic for some drivers. Fox 17 is also in nearby Berry County, where just more than a week ago, those residents were hit hardest by power outages. Tonight, some homeowners are already experiencing frozen pipes because of the deep freeze settling into our area. Right now, we are just wrapping up the second part to a three-part storm. And tonight, Fox 17 is breaking down what's going on now and what's coming next. Good evening, everyone. I'm Janice Allen.
And I'm Christian Frank. Hundreds of schools already shut down for tomorrow, including our largest institutions, Grand Rapids Public and Grand Valley State. The closings are running at the bottom of your screen. Here's the latest on the winter storm right now. Besides schools shutting down for tomorrow, courthouses also closing, including those in Ionia and Van Buren counties. Also, Governor Snyder says state authorities are constantly monitoring the situation and providing him with updates on what's happening in Allegan County. In Allegan County, the Road Commission said it's already called it quits until tomorrow so crews can rest. Only state roads will be plowed until early in the morning. Take a look at our Fox 17 crews covering one of the biggest storms in recent years. We're covering a lot of ground out there from Kent County down the lake shore and along I-94. Tonight we have you covered on the snow, the emergencies, and what you can do to protect your family from the dangerous Arctic air moving in just hours from now.
But first, we need to talk about the forecast. Fox 17's chief meteorologist Rick Mecklenburg is in tonight to track what's happening right now. And Kevin Craig will break down that rare Arctic air that's moving in tonight. But we begin with Rick. Rick?
We are transitioning from stage 1 to stage 2 in this 3-stage weather event. We had a system that affected much of West Michigan throughout the day today with over a foot in some locations. Now we're transitioning over to some lake effect snow. Live Fox 17 radar showing it's continuing to snow across most of West Michigan. We're going to zoom in first of all to the metro areas where you see the darker shades of blue. That's an indication of where the snow is a little bit heavier. And it looks like over toward Allendale and Hudsonville is where we're seeing some heavy snow at this point. Down to the south along US 131, still snowy. It looks like it's snowing very heavily right now in Allegan up toward Hamilton and Fenville, also toward Hastings and Delton in Berry County. You're seeing some heavy snow. Off to the south, it's starting to taper off, at least temporarily, in Van Buren and Cass counties, also in Berrien County. But we're watching this transition to lake effect occur, and a huge lake effect snow band has developed over Lake Michigan. It extends currently down into Benton Harbor, St. Joe, approaching Niles at this point. It's going to continue to shift to the west, and that's going to affect areas mainly along and west of US 131 with additional snowfall. Here's a look at some of the higher totals we've had so far. Over a foot in Martin. You guys had 13 inches, a foot in Battle Creek, 12.6 inches in Schoolcraft, and the highest total we could find so far, 16 inches down in Kalamazoo County, city of Vicksburg. We continue with winter storm warnings along and west of US 131 until 8 o'clock tomorrow night for the lake effect snow potential. These are winter weather advisories off to the north. And look at this, Berrien and Cass County in far southwest lower Michigan under a blizzard warning. That's in effect until 4 o'clock in the morning. We're seeing colder temperatures move in as well. After readings near 30 earlier today, we're down into the teens now. It's 18 in Grand Rapids, 19 in Kalamazoo and Battle Creek. And lakeshore temperatures in the upper teens and lower 20s. Winds are starting to ramp up as well. They're blowing from the north right now between 15, 20 miles per hour with some higher gusts, and that's producing wind chills that are well into the single digits at this point. Feels like 5 above in Grand Rapids, 3 above in Kalamazoo. But look what's happening on the other side of the lake. Current wind chills between 15 and 25 degrees below zero. That's going to be our weather for tomorrow. In fact, wind chill warning goes into effect tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock and continues into 7 p.m. on Tuesday. And meteorologist Kevin Craig is going to have much more on the dangerous wind chills, plus talk about how much more snow we're going to get downwind of Lake Michigan coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Rick. Well, plows have been hitting the roads throughout the day all across the state.
And something you may not know about these vehicles, they too need a rest.
Jessica McMaster joins us live from South Haven tonight to explain why some of those trucks are not out tonight. Jess?
Yeah, the plow trucks are salted up and ready for a busy morning. Now, crews tell us they haven't been out on the streets since early this afternoon and won't be heading back out until about 2 a.m. Now, we caught up with the mayor and he's telling us what the city is doing to keep folks safe. And we also spoke with a police officer who says even emergency crews are having a tough time out there.
This is one of the worst winters that I can remember.
Fierce winds and several inches of snow are making their way across South Haven.
The plows are having a tough time getting around. Emergency vehicles are having a tough time.
And with below freezing temperatures on the way, police officer Chris Mersman says things will only get worse.
It'll be so cold that animals will be freezing and the roads will be probably nearly impassable by then.
Armed with four-wheel drive, Mayor Robert Burr takes us on a tour of his snow-covered city.
Usually take a quick tour. There was a blast of ice.
Yeah. Burr says it's been about 4 years since they've had a storm of this degree, and it created for a lonely drive, with not even as much as a plow truck in sight.
We have 27 miles of roads, and we have virtually plowed all of the roads at least once or twice throughout the day, and so we're simply sitting back waiting for the storm to kind of to peak.
But rescue crews are there if you need them. Mersman says they're patrolling the streets, looking out for anyone who may be in need of help. And for those of you willing to brave the cold, make sure you're prepared.
If you do have to venture out, make sure you have a full tank of gas, your cell phone is charged, and an emergency kit in your vehicle.
Now, we also spoke with the Van Buren County Sheriff's Department, who tells us they've had more than 25 calls regarding weather-related crashes and slide-offs. Now, as you heard Officer Mersman mention there, now is the time to get those safety kits for your car, emergency kits rather. They include batteries, flashlights, things that you need in case you do get stranded somewhere. But for now, we're going to send things out to Fox 17's Darren Cunningham, who is live in Battle Creek, where they are under a snow emergency. Darren, how are things looking over that way?
I am live in Battle Creek on Capitol near Dickman Road, where the winds are really picking up in this weather. If you look closely, you can see the snow just flying. It's not coming straight down, it's just flying. Now, it's pretty much a ghost town out here. All I've really seen out here are snow plows as well as first responders. Very few vehicles out here, although some of the vehicles that I have seen out here are swerving all over the place, getting stuck in some of the snow. And I want to show you just how deep the snow is. Take a look down here at my feet, or near my feet. Really, all you can see at this point are my shins. That's how much snow that we've gotten out here, and Battle Creek has declared a snow emergency. What that means is tomorrow Battle Creek public schools will be closed, along with City Hall. City Hall is also closed in Battle Creek, and the bus transit system will not be in operation. Also, you will want to know, if you're in the area, no parking is allowed on the streets. That's because the plows need to be able to get through completely and do a thorough job in order to clear the streets. If you do park on the streets down here, you risk getting a ticket, so you want to be mindful of that. And also, Calhoun County government, we're told, is also closed. Now, earlier this evening, or rather late this evening, but earlier, we caught up with a couple of Battle Creek police officers who are out here responding to several weather-related calls.
This is my second year to this weather, having it happen like this, and it's an eye-opener, trust me.
Battle Creek police officer Chris Brown and his partner, Officer Kelsey Gettle, spent Sunday night on the beat as usual. What wasn't usual was the snow emergency declared on the city they've sworn to serve and protect. The fluffy stuff changed the pace of the day and types of calls they respond to the most.
It kind of helps and hinders us sometimes. We're doing more citizen contacts because we're helping more people get pushed out of, being stuck.
As our camera rolled, we stumbled upon one of those drivers.
This guy's stuck, so we're gonna turn around and get him, but help him out.
The stuck Charger was in a bit deep. A Good Samaritan stopped to help the officers and the motorist.
We want to get there to emergency calls, but we also know if we don't get there, then we can't help whatever emergency is happening. So,
Yeah, obviously, like any proactive police work, kind of is a lot harder to do because of the weather. It's you got to stay available and be able to take your accidents and be ready for anybody else that needs help with that, because the traffic's the biggest thing right now.
the only bad thing about it is we've pushed a couple out, and once we gotten them out, they've gotten stuck more because they're fighting a losing battle here.
And now the wind is really really picking up out here. Someone driving by actually just told us that another vehicle just down the road is stuck. Just to give you another idea of how bad this snow is out here, we saw a couple of semi-truck drivers stuck in this snow. So those semis aren't immune to all of this snow that is accumulating. Now later in the show, we'll introduce you to one of those semi-truck drivers, and we'll show you the Good Samaritans that helped to dig her out. For now, live in Battle Creek, Darren Cunningham, Fox 17 News.
All right, Darren, thank you. The snow pounding West Michigan is now responsible for hundreds of closures and cancellations to begin the week.
We now go live to Portage tonight, where Fox 17's Deanna Chiklis sat in with a seat with a paramedic as he navigated the snowy roads. Dana?
That's right, guys, and the wind is really picking up. We are at West Edge and I-94, but before we talk about road conditions, I want to show you where we're standing. Check this out. This is an interstate sign, clearly marking 94. Normally, without all the snow, you're not able to touch this sign. And then check this out. This used to be a sidewalk. I'm slipping around over here. If I really put my feet into this snow is coming up almost to my thighs, up to my knees. So as far as the roads go, you can see it's pretty clear right now, very calm. Looks like a lot of people took the words to the wise and stayed home tonight. As far as us traveling earlier, we had a bit of a hard time traveling down those side streets and those residential roads. But I'll tell you, we were riding along with a paramedic tonight, and that ambulance really handled this snowy weather well. And as far as handling emergencies goes, that paramedic stayed cool, calm, and collected as he responded to all kinds of emergencies throughout this evening. There's no such thing as snow days when you're out saving lives.
Here to help people. It's not really about our days, it's about their days. So we're here to take care of them.
Ryan Davis is a paramedic with Life EMS Ambulance in Kalamazoo, and even though it's challenging to respond to a top priority call like this one within 8 minutes, he says the snowstorm doesn't stop him.
It's fairly quick, but with the wind chills getting down, if someone's down outside for 8 minutes, you can get frostbite pretty quickly. So even if we get there that quick, it could still be a danger for them.
And staying warm is a danger for the medics too. When they're out on the roads for 30 minutes or so, Ryan says they dress the part.
We're having our employees wear turtlenecks and thermal sacks and coats, just trying to keep them warm as possible while the wind chills are getting cold.
As the snowstorm hit over the weekend, county dispatchers say the medics here responded to almost 150 calls, but hope this winter weather keeps most people at home.
As the weather kind of goes on, people start to stay inside a little bit more. It might taper off a little bit. The big increase, though, is the car accidents that you see.
And at last check with Kalamazoo County dispatchers, they say since 7 p.m. tonight, they responded to at least 6 slide-offs, both on 131 and Interstate 94. But they say the roads are slick, but fortunately, again, most drivers did look like they stayed home for the evening. So if you do have to travel later tonight and especially tomorrow morning, be cautious, take it slow, and leave plenty of room between you and other drivers. For now, live in Kalamazoo County, Dana Chiklis, Fox 17 News.
All right, Dana, some good advice. I hope people are listening out there.
Thanks for that tonight. We'll take a look at this picture sent to us by one of our viewers from Richland. That's between Kalamazoo and Hickory Corners. That's a lot of new snow for one picnic table. Of course, you can send us your photos at our Twitter hashtag Fox17Snow.
We're joined again by meteorologists Rick Mecklenburg and Kevin Craig as they continue to track that snow and cold moving into the region.
Yeah, as you guys might imagine, there's quite a bit to talk about. Rick brought you up to date on all the current conditions and what's going on out there. We want to now look into the future, use the computer forecast models, because only the first part of this storm has hit. Now we transition to all the Arctic air, the high wind chills, and the lake effect. And with that in mind, let's go to the graphics. I want to give you the magnitude of the scope of this system. Good evening, everybody. We have almost 24 states that are under wind chill warnings across the northern plains, the upper Midwest, and the Great Lakes. Ours go into effect tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. They stay in effect for 36 hours until 7 p.m. on Tuesday. We're talking wind chills generally across the area of about 20 to 30 degrees below zero. One of the things we could do with our computer forecast model, Future Track, is we could forecast out wind speed, wind direction, and also wind gusts. So the bigger number here in white, pick out your city wherever you're closest to. And for example, at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, this is saying we'll have a 21 mile per hour wind gust or wind speed in Grand Rapids out of the west, and gusting to about 29 miles per hour. Watch what happens as we go through Monday. You're going to see the colors ramp up. The oranges, the purples, the reds. That means the wind speeds will ramp up. So for example, by 6 p.m. tomorrow in Holland, we've got a 2-minute sustained wind speed of 29 miles per hour coming in out of the west, gusting to 31 miles per hour. And my point in showing this is as we go from Monday night into Tuesday, those winds are still very strong, even in the 30 to 35 degree range along the lakeshore. And as we go through the day on Tuesday, they're still strong. But what does it all mean to all of us as far as translating it to feels like temperatures and actual air temperatures? We can also use our Future Track HD computer forecast model to go out into the future, the next couple of days. Take a look at this particular graphic because we can forecast temperatures out a couple of days. That's what the bigger number is in here in white. And with those winds factored in, what are the wind chills? We'll go out 2 days. We'll pick this up at 6 a.m. So for example, in Grand Rapids tomorrow morning, it's saying that we'll have a temperature of 8 degrees with a wind chill of 12 degrees below zero. Let's go through the day. Watch some of these numbers really ramp up. And one of the things I want to bring your attention to is we're going to have a westerly wind tomorrow, but the areas along and south of I-94 will not be under any lake modified air. So they are quite a bit colder, 15 degrees below zero. Some of these wind chills along and south of I-94 could be 40 to 50 degrees below zero because the air coming across Lake Michigan is going to miss the I-94 corridor and southward. So consequently, they are going to be colder. Even as we go from Monday night into Tuesday, you still see the high wind chills out there. And as we go through the day on Tuesday, we still got single-digit temperatures, Arctic air firmly in place, and wind chills running generally about 20 to 30 degrees below zero. Now, with a strong westerly wind coming off Lake Michigan, that's going to create lake effect snow. We saw the first component of this system, 6 to 12, in some cases 10 to 14 inches of snow from Grand Rapids to the south. But now the second punch is going to be the lake effect as the winds transition to the west by tomorrow and stay that way on Monday and Tuesday. We're going to see accumulating lake effect snow. The heaviest snow Monday night and Tuesday, I believe, will fall across Ottawa, southwestern Kent County, Barrie County, Allegan, Van Buren, and Kalamazoo County. We're talking in this swath here about 4 to 8 inches from Monday all the way through Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning. There's going to be some considerable blowing and drifting in these locations, and I think there will be at times whiteout conditions in some of these areas as well. The lesser amounts of snow in the medium blue here, which is for the Grand Rapids metro area, and Muskegon, about 3 to 6 inches will fall there. 2 to 4 inches here on the light blue band, and 1 to 2 inches in gray. Remember, the farther away you get from Lake Michigan, the lesser the snow amounts, but I believe it's going to line up right in this area here. So we've seen the first punch. There's at least another couple of punches coming with the Arctic air, the high wind chills, and this accumulating lake effect snow. I've got the full weather forecast coming up because we still have 5 more days in this week that we're going to take a look at, and we'll see you in just a little bit with all the details there. Janice, Christian?
Okay, thanks. Our winter weather coverage continues tomorrow at 5 a.m. on Fox 17 Morning News. We'll have live coverage through 9 o'clock from all across West Michigan, covering the sub-zero wind chills and the snowy roads. You can always get updates with our mobile apps for both iPhone and Android, or by logging on to fox17online.com, where we have broken new information down county by county for you.